Krishna Janmashtami celebrations, the birthday party of Sri Krishna, Krishna Bhagwan, that avatar that took form so long ago, but because of its impact, the story of Sri Krishna, his life as it were, on our minds, till this day we have devotees all over who choose to consider that supreme as Krishna. And the secret of Krishna, the word Krish from Krishna. Anyone knows someone whose name is Krish? Nani's name is Krish? Nani's name, yes, Krish. Krish, it really means blissful, a state of bliss. And as I've been saying, it is really our true nature to be blissful. So then why sometimes are we unhappy? Why do we suffer? And the answer is, so all of these things together, our scriptures say, Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Man eva, man means mind. So man eva manushyanam, as a person's mind, as my mind, as your mind, karanam, the cause of, bandha means bondage, mokshayoho means liberation. So our scriptures are telling us, the sages are telling us, that our true nature of bliss is always here. It's not something new that we have to get, devotees. It's always here. But what's the problem? Man. And man means mind. So it all has to do with what you think, how you think. Okay? So, man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. All has to do with the mind. Now, celebrations like these, personally I don't feel to talk too much. So we could go two ways. One way is the Bhakti Marg, where we don't talk too much philosophy and whatnot, but we focus on the glories of Sri Krishna and we do more bhajan kirtan. Chant and be happy. Yes? Or I would say chant and uncover that happiness that is already there. Okay? So that's one way. The next way is, we could go the Jnani route and talk a bunch of philosophy about Sri Krishna. I don't know if you're feeling for that this evening. We don't want people to sleep away. Or how about, become to a little compromise. I'm married, you see, so I know about compromising a little bit. So, we do bhajan kirtan, we focus on the glories, the story, but at the end, just a little interpretation for those who want to go beyond the story and, alright, but Sri Krishna was here so long ago. It's nice to come and pray. Is either two things in your mind. Number one, how God could help me. Or number two, well, what does it really mean to me? How can I help myself? Not so? And nothing is wrong with either way. But people have different temperament. So, when we do these things, we try to cater to everybody. But of course, you know yourself more than anybody else. You know what you like to do, what you need, and what puts you in a peaceful state of mind. Okay? So, let's do this then. We will do some invocation, bhajans, right? And remember, bhajan means, bhaj means what? So we all sing in bhajan. You tell me, what does bhajan mean? Bhaj. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Bhaj doesn't mean to sing. Yeah, bhajale Hari Govind, but doesn't mean to sing. So you tell me, how many years we sing in bhajan now?
Well, I sing, but I think while I sing Govinda.
So you would think, at a superficial level, it means to praise. Okay. But the deeper level, bhaj really means to seek and find. Now, if you're seeking something, let me ask you a question before we start. What is the difference between seeking and searching? Anybody knows? Excellent. If I searching for my car keys, and do I know what I'm looking for? So I could just go and find it. But if I'm seeking something, it doesn't necessarily mean that I know what I'm looking for. So my question for you, we say God. How many of you are seeking God? Let me see, raise your hand. All right? And how many of you are searching for God? Meaning, you know what you're looking for, you have a glimpse of that state, your true nature, but you're trying hard to become established in that, for it to become firm, driti. How many of you are doing that? Some of you? Okay. Again, I'm not here to judge you, I'm trying to help you to judge yourself. Okay? So, now that you know, either way, as it says, not a problem. At the end, Tat Twamasi. You are that. Everybody, all of us here, one thing. But, this Maya, this illusion, let me put it simply, because of your mind. You think you're this little person, and you're born to suffer, and you're going to die one day. Is that who you really are? So, the essence of this celebration, the birth of something. It's nice, Lord Krishna, nice little baby. We have so many nice little babies. My family, we love little babies to play with them. But you have to ask, well, what does a celebration really mean to you? It's the birth of something inside. And unless you experience that birth of something, you feel that something inside, then the occasion doesn't really have any meaning, does it? Okay? Acha. So, enough talk. Let's get started. Bhaj means to seek, to go deep within. Bhaj. So you see people who perform in bhajan and they're doing bhajan to raise money and all these things. That is not bhajan. It might sound strange, but that is not bhajan. Bhajan is something we use to seek or to express how we feel. And if you sing for the whole evening and you feel absolutely nothing, then it means nothing. It all has to do with you. So devotees, as my father likes to say, you go on your journey, I go on my journey. I know what this means to me, you have to know what it means to you. Okay? And Mala, for you, just remember, all of the stories in the scriptures, you know how many children learned in the womb? So it's very good that you're in this environment, picking up that vibration. It's good for everybody. Okay? So let's first concentrate on Gajanan Swami. We do little invocation, bhajan kirtan, and then we'll go into this brief story of how Sri Krishna Bhagwan was born. Then I'll interpret that story for you and try to tell you, well, what does it have to do with me? Then we'll end with our Hawan and we will rock the palanana for everybody like to rock the palana, right? Gently. We'll do that afterward during final arati. Okay? And if you enjoy, you could take flowers in your hand, keep that with you throughout till we finish this course part. Let's concentrate on Gajanan Swami first of all.
Mangal Charana Gajanana Gajavadana Shubhanana.
Now devotees, if some of these bhajans or kirtans are unfamiliar to you, that's okay. Either you can chant in your mind, Om Gang Ganapatiye Namaha, or you can listen carefully. The words I'm saying are very simple. We're chanting the name. And there is power in the name. The Sanskrit name, Sanskrit, remember, is a mantric language. It does something for your mind. So remember I spoke about your mind giving trouble? Well, this is one tool that we have, right? Mantra. So listen carefully and then you could sing after me. Just hear what I'm saying and repeat the words as best as you could. Alright? So we're glorifying Gajanan Swami.
Mangal Charana Gajanana
Mangal Charana Gajanana
Mangal Charana Gajanana
Mangal Charana Gajanana
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
मंगलचरण गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
मंगलचरण गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
गौरी तनया गजानना गौरी तनया गजानना मंगलचरणा गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
गजवदना शुभानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
मंगलचरणा गजानना
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
विद्यादायका बुद्धिप्रदायका
गौरी तनया गजानना गौरी तनया गजानना मंगलचरणा गजानना मंगलचरणा गजानना मंगलचरणा गजानना मंगलचरणा गजानना। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। Now devotees, for a few moments I'd like you to sit up straight, settle your mind, close your eyes. I'm going to chant the Sri Krishna Ashtakam. So you concentrate on Prabhu Sri Krishna and chant in your mind Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Atasi Pushpa Sankasham Haranupur Sushobhitam रत्नकङ्कुणकेयूरं रत्नकङ्गणकेयूरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कुटिलालकसंयुक्तं पूर्णचन्द्रनिभाननं विलसत्कुण्डलधरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् मन्दारगन्धसंयुक्तं चारुहासं चतुर्भुजं बर्हि पिञ्जावचूडाङ्गं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् उत्पुलपद्मपत्राक्षं नीलजिमूतसन्निभं यादवानां शिरोरत्नं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् रुक्मिणीकेसंयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्ततुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् गोपिकानां कुचद्वन्द्व कुङ्कुमाङ्कितवाक्षसं श्रीनिकेतं महेश्वासं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् श्रीवत्साङ्कमहोरस्कं वनमाला विराजितं शङ्खचक्रधरं देवं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णाष्टकमिदं पुण्यं प्रातरुत्थाय पठेत् कोटिजन्म कृतं पापं स्मरणेन विनश्यति इति श्रीकृष्ण अष्टकं सम्पूर्णम्।
Let's glorify the purpose of Krishna devotees.
Gopala Radha Lola O Murali Lola Nandalala O Murali Lola Nandalala Gopala Radha Lola
Gopala Radha Lola
Gopala Radha Lola
Gopala Radha Lola
O Murali Lola Nandalala
Murali Lola Nandalala
O Murali Lola Nandalala
O Murali Lola Nandalala
Keshava Madhava Janardana
Keshava Madhava Janardana
Keshava Madhava Janardana
Keshava Madhava Janardana
Banmala Vrindavan Gopala
Banmala Vrindavan Gopala
O Banmala वृंदावन गोपाल
बनमाला वृंदावन गोपाल
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
मुरली लोला नंदलाला
गोपाल राधा लोला
गोपाल राधा लोला
गोपाल राधा लोला
गोपाल राधा लोला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
केशव माधव जनार्दन
केशव माधव जनार्दना
केशव माधव जनार्दन
केशव माधव जनार्दना
ओ बनमाला वृंदावन गोपाल
बनमाला वृंदावन गोपाल
ओ बनमाला वृंदावन गोपाल
बनमाला वृंदावन गोपाल
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला
गोपाल राधा लोला
गोपाल
राधा लोला हो मुरली लोला नंदलाला ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला ओ मुरली लोला नंदलाला बोले श्री कृष्ण भगवान चंद्र की Would you like to hear a story? A very long time ago, the earth was burdened by a particular individual. And this individual's name was who? Kans. Very good. Kans. This is called preaching to the choir here, right? So everybody knows. Kans, very good. Now, was Kans a good man or a bad man? Very, very bad. Why was he bad? So, he was a king. He had access to wealth. And it is said, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know what that means? Psychological studies have shown devotees that even with children, you put a particular child in a position of power. Say you give them a little more money to deal with some others. Their behavior changes. When you're in control of people and you have resources, your behavior changes. And you stop seeing people so much as people, but you start seeing them as things to be used. What makes a person good and what makes a person bad? Which comes from their mind. what they think and what they want, what you think and what you want. So, people like cunts, the really evil people, devotees, it's hard to get our heads around this, We all know that the world isn't black and white. People have some good in them, people have some bad in them. We try to work on the bad parts and we try to, bring out the good, right? But yet still, we have so much crime, we have wars going on, people hurting each other. And the question is why? If you go back to the Gita, what does Krishna say? Remember in chapter 2? That soul, that self, doesn't kill and it cannot be killed. But yet still in the world, people killing people left, right and center. So how? So you have to remember that we are talking about two different levels here. What you are, what I am, what everyone is a very subtle existence, let's say awareness. That's called the self, God, Brahman, to do different things. Have you ever asked why you like what you like? Let's use a Trini example. I like doubles. Akash, you like doubles, boy? Right. I do like Guinness. You like Guinness? All right. What's your drink of choice? All right, stag. Not the animal, right, for others. And some people just have this natural inclination to take advantage of other people. Now, if you subscribe to karma and rebirth, these things are called, vasanas. Very, very deep seeds within one's mind that drive you to certain behaviors. Why? Well, the reason is, very deep down, you have this thinking that if I do this, if I behave in this way, if I get this, it is going to make me happy. And I'm using happy very loosely here. By happy, I mean a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of being complete. Okay? In all cases, this is. So, people like cunts, like Ravan, in the scriptures here, I don't want you to think that we sit and talk about a bad man somewhere. This cunts and this Ravan exist inside all of us as a certain way that when our mind functions. When you get a little egotistical, you feel I could take advantage of this one over here, I could pull a thing and I could make this happen. I could control this person. Why? People want to know. Everybody want to be happy somehow. People want to control everybody else while at the same time not being controlled by other people. And Abhinivesh, everybody is afraid of death, so people want to live forever. That's all. When I say people, I mean most people, not me. I don't live forever. You crazy? In this body, how it's starting to go? My knees starting to give trouble and things. That's right? Yeah. Now, devotees, remember, I am not here to talk down to you. We are all fellow sufferers in the same boat, same situation. Our scriptures are put to us from a point of view of compassion. Our sages have realized certain things and saying, look, yes, dharma, karma and moksha. Live your life, make your money, do whatever. But that is not the be-all and end-all because you're going to lose it one day. There is something more than that. Right? So moksha, we're talking about the real essence, the true happiness now. So when you're young, you feel you run after this, you run after that, you get a wife, you get a girlfriend, you get a house. And when I say this, people get vexed. It comes from the Yoga Sutras, it's there in the Gita, which is everything that you grab onto in this world, devotees, it becomes a burden to you in some way. I'm not saying it doesn't make you happy, Your husband, your child, your co-worker, your friend, your house, your car, what you feel, these things are assets. When you have to maintain them, think about them, worry about them all the time. With every positive thing comes a negative thing. Not so? So, dukkha, as the Buddha said, this world, the nature of this world is what we call dukkha. And the true spiritualists, they come to a point when they realize, after living life, you bounce your head here, you bounce your head there, you bounce your head with the next thing. You realize, I do not think that anything in this world could make me permanently happy. I'm not saying you can't get happiness for a while, When I eat my little ice cream and thing, it tastes nice in the moment. But then a day after I get diarrhea, right? Because I can't take dairy. Plus and minus. With pros come cons, always. There is no free lunch. There's no free lunch theorem. You don't get anything for free in this world. Is that clear? Right. So people who smart realize this, but you have people like Kans and people like Ravan, all the demons in the scriptures. You notice devotees, any of them were poor and struggling? Exactly. This king, that king, the next king, people of power and influence. That's why our scriptures say money, power, treat it very carefully. You could have it, but you need to control it. It mustn't. And trust me, it's real easy for it to control you. Nobody, no matter, priest, pundit, holy man, anybody. The minds, devotees, the minds. So look at the behaviors carefully, okay? So just a point on these rakshas. I don't want you to, hey, he's a rakshas, hey, he's a kansa, hey, he's a ravan, because of how he looking. Right? Don't say Panatumesh with here, looking like you're looking kansish today. We don't want that. Right? So, and worse, and a race of people and whatnot. This is not what this is about, So don't think like that. These people, they reflect ourselves. Scriptures, they reflect us. Right? Now, we mustn't lie to ourselves either and come and sit here and feel we're all great. I have things to work on. You have things to work on. But the first step, devotees, is being aware. You know how many people are not aware of what's going on in their head? They get up in the morning and start running behind something without stopping and saying, hey, hold on. Why am I doing this? Just stop and ask why. I'm running after, why? Stop, take a pause. Pause and say, why? Then logically try to think and convince yourself, okay, I have a reason for doing this. And then go ahead. Otherwise, do just run around like headless chickens. Right? No head. You just run in for no reason. Alright? Okay. So, the earth was burdened by this skans. And so, as the story goes, devotees, I'll dip in and out of this story, right? Because it's long. So, I've given you the highlights here. Let it cricket, the highlight reel. Right? So, what we have is this skans was causing trouble everywhere. People were oppressed. Oppression. That is what happens when people who are in control don't care about others. They don't have a compassionate way, and then they start to squeeze people. I don't mean literally squeeze, though in some cases they torture them. But squeeze people. You all understand what I'm saying? Right? People getting squeezed all side. The human condition, as the Dalai Lama I think said, in the modern world, people use other people and they love things. And what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to use things and love people. So it ulta, it wrong side, it back to front. And that is why we have so many problems. Not so? We want a robot for this, we want to go Mars, we want to this, that, and the other. Yet still people in the earth, they can't find food, they're suffering, they're getting bombed day and night. I'm not taking sides, I'm saying look at the human condition. And who decides all of this? We. But it trickles up to those who are in charge at the end of the day, leaders. Whatever they want, whatever they see, right? You can't get, if you eat some bad food, then you get sick. But if you look at what you eat and you be careful, then you wouldn't get sick, right? So who's in charge? The head, the mouth, right? You look at what you put inside. I call in no names and I seen anybody. Blanket statement for everybody. See, the scriptures don't pick sides, You could be in charge, you could have how much money, you could be whatever. Scriptures are principles. And the sages, devotees, remember I said this is the Singhasan? My father always says this, is the seat of the lion. I am not here to tell you what you want to hear, We are here, devotees, to tell you what you should hear. What I should hear, what you should hear, for everybody to do the right thing. And if it fall in your garden, take it and plant it. Right? That's your problem. So, negative tendencies. So the world experiences, and the world has a tendency to swing back and forth. So, sometimes it's good, then it get back bad again. Then it get back good again, then it get back bad again. So, like a pendulum, right? So at this time here now, you had Kans. It was his time. Trouble throughout. People oppressed. So, as the story goes, the Devas appeal to that Mahavishnu, that Supreme Lord, Vishnu Bhagwan. God in that form of Vishnu Bhagwan. Okay? And he gave his word that he will manifest himself to alleviate the troubles of us all. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Right? So, This Kans now, let's get into some family life, family dynamics. Kans had a sister. And Kans's sister, her name was Devaki. Or as some people say, Devaki. Right? Her name was Devaki. Anybody knows a Devaki here? Family? You have? Devaki, all right. From Trinidad or? Okay. To find a Devaki up here may be a little difficult. All right. So, sister, and Devaki was married to a very holy man. His name was Vasudev. So, Devaki and Vasudev. Now, Devaki got married to this Vasudev. You know, a wonderful wedding was arranged because it was royalty. And on that day of the wedding, Kans was ecstatic, you know. I don't know what the word is, you know, people who swing back and forth. 1 minute they're nice and happy, next minute evil. I don't know what is the term for that, but I hesitate to use mental health terms for people, right? Because there's a stigma around mental health. That's a condition. Yeah. Nas, all of these things. Put all them together and multiply it a few times and you get Kans. All right? So that was Kans. So Kans overly happy that day. And, you know, with money, Vasudev and Devaki, well, Akash, you had the wedding car, right? What kind of car I had? Forgive me for harassing Akash. I know Akash well, so as, you know. What's your wedding car? A Prado. You're a good boy. My wedding car, what it was? A small Mercedes, I think. I can't remember. Right? A Prado. All right, good, nice. Well, they had a chariot. So Vasudev and Devaki, newly married, Kans taking them back to their quarters. So Kans jump up on top of this chariot and he decided to drive. You know, normally they have a charioteer driving, but Kans said no, that day he wanted to drive. Jump on the chariot, started to go. Vasudev and Devaki in the back and the chariot moving forward. Now, while driving, all of a sudden the place grew very dark and almost as if everything stood still. Right? You know when there's something in the air? And then a loud booming voice was heard and it addressed Kans directly. Right? Now some people hear voices. I don't want to say mental health again, but let me put it like this. Don't think this is a joke because certain creatures are sensitive to vibrations in the atmosphere. So you might think this is strange woo-woo, simidimi stuff. When you see a tsunami come in, who run away first? Why we don't run away first? We sleeping? Because we're not sensitive. I'm not saying all human beings that is we sleeping, we do other things. But the animals, imagine that. Animals that we consider lower forms of creation pick up these signals. You see birds flying, elephant running, horse running away, and we still by the beach bathing nice and nice. Right? Why does that happen? Because they are sensitive to these things. And we can be as well. Being sensitive and picking up signals, if everything is connected, you know, like the cosmic internet, if you will, then you can pick up signals. Not so? But if you have a dull mind, then you can't pick up anything. Right? So it is possible. So this voice was heard and it said, "O Kans, listen carefully. The 8th son of this Devaki will kill you, will be the cause of your death." Implying, devotees, look at you like a fool. Pulling the chariot, carrying on nice and happy, not realizing you're transporting your own death there. And for a man like Kans, that'll hit home. Again, coming back to these people and the behaviors. When you see a man like Kans get threatened, it's like a snake in the corner. I never see a snake in a corner. If I see, I run. Or call my wife, go and deal with the snake. But if you have a snake in the corner, and you took a snake, what the snake will do? Strike your back. Strike your back. But you notice the sage isn't like that. You all heard the story of the sage and the scorpion? Quick side flash. There was a scorpion in the water, and a sadhu was passing by and he saw the scorpion. You see the scorpion struggling. The sadhu pick up the scorpion, put it one side. The scorpion sting him. Ow! And the scorpion get run back in the water again. Sadhu say, "But this scorpion stupid. What is the scorpion doing?" But then the sadhu thought, you know, poison taking his body. He said, "You know what? The nature of the scorpion is to sting. What is the nature of the sadhu?" Kindness, compassion. Sadhu, pick up the scorpion again, bring him back, sting him again. Keep doing that over and over. Scorpion ain't gonna learn. But after a while, so much poison in the sadhu, well, almost died. But at that point, they said, Vishnu Bhagwan appeared and blessed the sadhu. He said, Sadhu, you are the embodiment of compassion. You do sadhu, you do you. Let the scorpion do scorpion. What the scorpion do ain't none of your business. And this is the lesson to be learned, devotees. Good people do him again. You're running after like whack-a-mole, running to take down everybody who have something bad to say about you. Imagine how, what's the opposite of peace? I don't know. People like that, devotees, they don't rest peacefully. They can't. Always something on their mind. They have these burdens in their head. Okay? So Kans heard this, and Vasudeva, a knowledgeable man, tried to warn Kans, say, let me put it like this. Kans, when he heard this, was enraged, right? So, like the wild card he was, one moment happy, next minute he pulled out his sword and he wanted to kill Devaki. So, he wanted to kill his sister. But Vasudeva, who was a knowledgeable man, he pleaded with Kans and said, listen, Kans, gave him some gyan and whatnot, like we are reading in the Gita, but in that moment you think Kans listening to gyan? If somebody come in your house to hold you up, they break in and you see them inside with a gun, right Akash? They come in so, hey, hold up! You go, well, everybody is one thing, and the soul is one. You think listening to that? He listening to that. At that point, what you have to do? Take action. I didn't say kill him. I didn't say pull out your. I said telling you what to do. I just say, is your right to defend yourself, right? Right, Nani? Yes, I know Nani always have a plan for them, right? It's your job to take care, but nobody listened to Gyan at that point. So, what did Vasudeva do? He said, Kans, listen. We cut a deal. What is the deal? He said, you know what? If these children of ours are going to be a threat to you, then what I will do is I will bring all of these children to you once they are born to do with as you please. And so talking, devotees, a man with wisdom, they say you can't fight fire with fire, right? You fight fire with? Well, you're out a fire extinguisher, but you're killing my analogy here, Antivindra. According to the Gyan, ancient Hindu wisdom, the opposite now, right? Because it's a fire and a fire. So if my wife and I start to quarrel, hey, why you pour the garbage? And I go, why use the garbage? And this and that and the other. If people start to do that, makes no sense. If one person on a high horse, you jump off. You see, all these lessons here, we could elaborate on them, but these are points in passing. You all know these things, right? So he pacified Kans. Kans say, all right, but I want to keep an eye on all you. So what he did is he took his sister and Vasudeva and he locked them up. He locked them up in his kingdom in a prison. All right. So let's move forward now in this story where Vasudeva and Devaki were now having children. So first child coming. Beautiful. So what happened? The first child was born, and then Vasudeva took this baby, nice newborn baby, to Kans. Now imagine how he felt as a father. I remember holding my first child for the first time. I can't express to you what it feels like. But imagine you have to take that child and give that child to a madman immediately, how that will feel. So Vasudeva, a man of principle, a man of his word, no matter how hard it is, aage chale, you go ahead and you do what you have to do, right? He took this child to Kans. He said, Kans, as promised, there's the firstborn. Do as you wish. So Kans, the psycho that he was, in the mood he was in, said, Vasudeva, though this is the first one. Akashvani, that voice, said, the 8th child. So the first child wouldn't do me anything. That's okay. Carry it back. I'm only interested in the 8th one. So then, as Vasudeva was about to carry back the child, Narad Muni came there. And Narad approached Kans. And in a sense, devotees, what he did is confuse Kans. He said, Listen, cunts. This could be the 8th child from any side you count. If you start counting from the middle, you could find 8. If you start counting from the end, you could get 8. If you understand what I mean. And in various ways, he confused cunts so that cunts will feel threatened by any of these little babies. Let me put it simply like that. So the gist of it is that after Narad confused cunts stop Vasudeva, call him back and say, you know what? Change my mind. I changed my mind. I'm sorry, but I don't think he apologized. I am saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I can't allow any of these children to live. And so what Kans did, he took that child and I get in graphic, right? Sometimes my children say, too graphic with his story. So, unfortunately, he killed that child. All right? Now, you might ask why Narad did this. Well, there's always a backstory and a reason, which I wouldn't go into. But let's just say karma. All right? So, first child, they killed. Second child, third child, fourth child, fifth child, sixth child. You might ask why they continue to have children, eh? I didn't write the story, eh? So don't ask me that, right? Sixth child. Then we get now to the seventh child. The seventh pregnancy. Now it is said that Anantadeva entered Devki's womb, right? So you know, these are all forms of that one supreme, just different aspects. Right? So when I call these names, you don't have to get confused. It's all Vishnu Bhagwan. Let's make it simple. But Anantadeva, right, the snake, the bed of snakes that he's on, appeared in Devki's womb, and it is said that pregnancy was transferred from the womb of Devki to the womb of another wife of Vasudeva, whose name was Rohini. Now again, don't come and ask me why he had two wives. That was the practice in the day. Why Dashrath have three wives? I'm not telling you to have more than one wife. I'm just saying that is what obtained then. Alright? Okay. So this seventh pregnancy was transferred from one womb to another womb. Right? So in all essence, she didn't have that child anymore, but that child was safe. Okay? And then, devotees, time came now for the 8th child to be born. The 8th child. Now, Bhagwan Vishnu, who was going to appear and transform into Prabhu Sri Krishna, he instructed Yog Maya, Devi Ma, to take the form of a little girl child, a little girl baby, at the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. Okay, so we all know how this story goes. Yashoda Maya was the foster mother of Sri Krishna. So she was to appear there, Devi, as a little child. Bhagwan Vishnu was to appear by Vasudeva and Devaki, and then we would see now what would transpire. So, what happened? It is said, first of all, devotees, at the right moment, today, later in the night, right? Bhagwan Vishnu appeared in a form before Vasudeva and Devaki. He appeared there in his... Do we have a murti of Vishnu Bhagwan here? We don't have to take it out, just asking. 4 arms, dark in color, like the rain clouds, various symbols, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. I know what he looked like, show them. That is a symbol, that's Vishnu Bhagwan. Alright? Good. So Vishnu Bhagwan appeared there before Vasudeva and Devaki. When Vishnu Bhagwan appeared, devotees, let me ask you this. If God were to appear before you, what would you do? Oh, if God appeared before you, you must know. Alright. Bhagwan Vishnu appeared before Vasudeva and Devaki. And seeing Bhagwan Vishnu, what did they do, devotees? They fell into a mode of prayer, a mode of supplication. So let's take a moment or two to glorify Vishnu Bhagwan. Vishnu Bhagwan appeared there in this very dark, dingy cell. And you can imagine that light of his form there. He just appeared before them. And First, of course, they were stunned, meaning no movement, just taking that in. But after it sunk in, then what they did, they glorified Vishnu Bhagwan, as we'll do together. Keshava Madhava Jaya Deva Madhusudana Netra Kamal Dal Adhiva Manohara. Vishnu Bhagwan devotees is very, 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 very handsome. So you can imagine this form of Vishnu Bhagwan, whatever handsome means for you, powerful form, eyes like lotus flowers, with all of the emblems. And even though we know devotees, that Supreme Lord is everywhere, is everything, there is something that appeals to the human mind about these forms. You see, it's not just like a man, because it's not just like you and me. You have more than one hand. You have a lot of symbols, different things. So it sort of points to something bigger than just a human being, doesn't it? So this is what the form can do for us. It gives us a point to concentrate on. Let's join together. Keshava Madhava Jaya Deva Madhusudana
Shiva Madhava Jai Deva Madhusudana
Keshava Madhava Jaya Deva Madhusudana
Shiva Madhava Jai Deva Madhusudana
Netra Kamal Dal Adhiva Manohara
Netra Kamal Adhiva Manohara
Netra Kamal Dal Adhiva Manohara
Netra Kamal Adhiva Manohara
Antaryami Prabhu Parameshwara
Antaryami Prabhu Parameshwara
Antaryami Prabhu Parameshwara
Antaryami Prabhu Parameshwara
Maya Manush Vishladhara
Maya Manush Vishwaladhara
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 Deva Madhusudana
Jaya Deva Madhusudana
Jaya Deva Madhusudana Keshava Madhava Jaya Deva Madhusudana Keshava Madhava Jaya Deva Madhusudana Netra Kamal Dal Adhiva Manohara. Bole Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. And so devotees, Vasudeva and Devaki, they glorified Prabhu Sri Krishna Vishnu Bhagwan. And then Vishnu Bhagwan said to them, I am here, I'm paraphrasing of course, I am here to alleviate the suffering of my devotees. This means, devotees, that if in life you choose this pathway of devotion, of Sharanagati, you live life with this attitude that, you know what, God, I am not in control, you are in charge. You are in charge of me. Whatever good happens, whatever bad happens, I accept it equally. I am always in your hands. I am always under your shelter. And I know that you will always take care of me. That you will always be there for me. No human being, devotees, could do this for you. Only that Supreme. People try, but as we all know, people are not loving nor loyal all the time. But if you live life like this, with your everything in the hands of the Supreme Lord, then life becomes a joy, even if you are suffering. Sounds strange, but it's true. So, Vasudeva and Devaki, they were devotees. They bowed to Vishnu Bhagwan, and Vishnu Bhagwan transformed himself now into a nice, I like chubby babies, right? You know, babies need to have a little fat on them. He transformed himself into a nice, fatty little baby, darkish in color. I don't want to say like me, but you know, like the rain clouds, like a darkish, bluish sort of hue, a color, right? Don't think we have any murtis or pictures. Okay, if you see one. That was the color of Shri Krishna. But at the same time, the baby's hands, the palms, and under the feet, pinkish in color. Pink and, what's the word, flush? Yeah? And nice lotus-like eyes. A beautiful baby. You imagine a baby. Whatever baby form you want. But of Shri Krishna. The nice thing about his devotees is that an artist who painted that, you think they ever saw Shri Krishna? All these pictures and murtis we have, who made them? Somebody made them somewhere. And then, how do you know what it looked like? It probably looked like the wife or the child or the brother or something. How do you know when you go in Sri Krishna Bhagwan? So, the thing is, remember devotees, these things are representations. You know? Let me make this point clear. If I do this and go, so look the bell. Look at my hands. Look the bell. Watch my finger and watch the bell. Is my finger the bell? What is my finger doing? Is Murti God? Yes or no? If everything is at Supreme, yes. But we cannot comprehend that all-encompassing consciousness. So just like my finger, the Murti is like the finger, saying, look at me. But I am more than this. I am more than this to what you see. More hands, more feet, more everything. You understand? But it points to something that cannot be, tangible. The soul can't cut it, weapons can't cut it, water can't, but it means it's not something physical, tangible. It's pure spirit. Understand? Okay. But for our purposes, we live in a world, a universe of names and forms and causality. So, we imagine that Supreme like this. And, if God appears before you, why I think devotees in scriptures, you have stories where one person seen God right there and everybody else around can't see anything. Why? God doing a magic trick just for you and everybody else around can't see? Who made God appear in that form, devotees? It's you. I'm not saying you're crazy, but I'm saying you alone will see that. Because that is how you go to God, so God comes to you. You understand? Is there something bigger at play here, Alright? And if we go into this Murti line, which Murti is God? Your Murti better than the next temple Murti, Vinja? Who Murti better? Who Murti have more God in it? Does that question even make sense? No. So just remember what we're doing. The rituals are for a purpose, but you have to go beyond that as well. Even the Murtis and forms. Okay? Anyway, let's come back. So Sri Krishna, wonderful baby form. And so, what happened? All of a sudden, devotees, at that point, midnight, magically, everybody, everywhere, all creatures instantly slept away. Just like this. You know, like the guards, you put the guard, but some of them sleeping anyway. But these guards, everywhere, they just, everybody, from in the castle, the king, all of the people in the city, everywhere, they just slept away. And not only that, but the doors of the cell that Vasudeva and Devaki were in, those doors just opened up. And the shackles that were on his hand, they just fell off like that. And devotees, what happened? Well, Yog Maya was at play here. Everybody fell asleep, and Vasudeva now had the opportunity to enact a plan. What was this plan? Bhagwan Vishnu explained to them what the plan was. I won't tell you what the plan was. Listen to what the plan was in action. Vasudeva took up this little baby and proceeded to carry this little child, this little baby, with him across to the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. So Vasudeva, imagine, midnight, place dark, right? Just maybe some moonlight. And not only that, but as Vasudeva was carrying this baby, now if you watch the movie, they say he was in a basket and what, I don't know, right? Let me assume he was in a basket. Put him on his piano basket from somewhere, put the little baby Krishna in the basket, put him on his head, and Vasudeva is walking. Walk right out the doors of the palace, nobody stopping him, everything sleeping, place dead quiet. Started to walk, devotees, and then, guess what? No, before he hit the river, rain started to fall. You know, rain started to pour. Right? It is said, brought rain. Rain started to fall heavy. And again, according to the story, you see, Seshnag appeared there to cover Prabhu Sri Krishna inside of the basket. So imagine Vasudeva there walking with Sri Krishna, going through bush, proper bush. I mean, people who probably lived Trinidad a long time will know the kind of bush we're talking about, right? Bush, forest, snake and all kind of thing, but the snake sleeping. So, carrying Sri Krishna on his head, the snake above, Vasudeva going. And then Vasudeva came upon the bank of the Yamuna. Now, how many of you have been to India? Good. Sorry, Ganga? Sorry, Yamuna? Right. Does it look like a canal in Trinidad? How big the Yamuna look? You can swim it? No. Big expanse. The point I'm making is not a little thing to cross. It's a huge river, right? So the question now, how to get across? And it is said, devotees, as the story goes, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, little baby, but aware, put his foot. So Vasudeva going, you all saw the what was it, Gopal Krishna? Right? Afraid, anytime what Gopal Krishnas get sick. But that's a different story. The basket was on his head and Vasudeva walking, so he walking into the river, walking. Remember, he's going forward no matter what. You see, if I had to swim and drag the basket, I will do it. But as he reached up to a certain point, when the water level came up right by his nose, at that point, Prabhu Sri Krishna just put his little fat foot out, touched the water, and just like that, I get in a soundtrack too. See, just like that, like how Moses parted the water, it parted just like that. And so Vasudeva was able to walk with Sri Krishna straight across the bed of the river to the other side. Okay? So, Vasudeva walked across and he came to the village of Nanda and Yashoda Maya, and there, lying next to Yashoda Maya, was this little baby girl. Now, this is Yog Maya, right? Maya, like delusion. She gave birth to a baby girl, but she didn't know. Right? Again, don't ask me how. She gave birth. Imagine you wake up one and you find a little baby next to you. Go, what? I had a child. All right. This little baby was there, right? And what Vasudeva did based on the instructions, the plan that Vishnu Bhagwan told him, he put down little baby Sri Krishna there, and he picked up this little girl, put her in the basket, made the journey back. From the time he got back there into the dungeon where Kans had him, The doors closed, locked back, change came back on, and slowly everybody all around will wake up now. When I say wake up, it was nighttime, but the guards and whatnot, catch themselves and went back to the garden, as guards do, right? And there inside was Vasudeva, Devaki, and this little baby girl. And when you have a baby, what does a baby do? Wah, wah. Not like that, but louder, right? So the baby started to cry and make noise. Cons, pick up that signal from wherever he was, hearing this baby cry. The eighth child is born. The eighth child is born. And so, devotees, what happened? Kans rushed inside of there with his sword, barged open the doors, well, jail cell, right? Ran inside of there, and there he found Vasudeva Devaki and this little baby girl. First, Kans was astonished, Again, remember, Kans crazy, right? So he thought, a little girl, what she could do me? A little girl? What she could do you? She could probably do you much more than a boy could do you, eh? A little girl. But, Kans, in a rage, and remember what Narad said, it could be anybody, anything. He wanted to make sure. So he picked up this little baby girl, and Vasudeva and Devaki, you can imagine, they plead and say, it's a girl, just leave us with one child. Kans was having none of it. He picked up the child, and as he did with the others, wanted to swing the child and dash, right? Pick up this child, but as he tried to make the swing, this little baby slipped out of his hand and just started to float up so. Well, I tell you, when Vaishnavi was born, if she started to float in the air, I would run out of the hospital, I have nothing with no floating baby, right? But thankfully she didn't float. She looked Chinese when she was born. As a little aside, they said, the nurses inside of there asked me, you sure this is your child? I said, but what do you mean if this is my child? You say, but she looked Chinese, All right, well, I do look Chinese. I definitely do look Chinese. Maybe my wife or her family have a little bit of that going on. All right? But flying baby. So this baby floating there like this, and then that form transformed into Kalima. Devi Durga Kalima. A form of Devi, Shakti. And this, to make matters worse, devotees, this form of Devi started to laugh. How you like that impression? Very good, right. They started to laugh, and she said, Kans, you big dotish fool. She didn't say that, I saying that. But Kans, you idiot, they want to destroy you is safe, and your end is coming soon. And so saying, laughing devotees, that form of Devi disappeared. And Kans now, like that, mouth open, sword in hand. Kans had long hair, no? Yeah, he had long hair, so it was flowing. Imagine how he's looking in night, and in his nightie and thing. So he stand up there. Kans was just flabbergasted, is the word. That is the word. Flabbergasted at that point. What? You want to tell me that trouble? He thought that he took care of everything, but no matter what he did, devotees, God will always find a way. Baby somewhere, he didn't know where, still alive. Devi said, your time coming soon. Everything he tried didn't work. And so now he found himself in a position. So like these big idiots usually do. Start like the snake in the corner, as I said at the start. You know what he started to do? He said, you know what? Since I don't know which child it is and where this child went, I'm going to kill all children born within the last couple of days. Need to make sure. And so he sent his soldiers out, devotees, to find all newborn babies in the kingdom around that time and destroy them. Look at the actions of a dusht. And the big problem is, devotees, the sad thing is, these evil people, they try to control the whole world and everybody else, but they can't control themselves. The only thing in this world that you have to learn to control, devotees, is yourself. But Prabhu Sri Krishna was safe there in the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. And from then on, devotees, the action started. But I will stop the katha at this point because that was how Sri Krishna came to be. That was the whole story there. And so Prabhu Sri Krishna grew with his brother, who was transformed to who was transferred to Rohini, Balram, and both them together. Many wonderful activities. Bhagwat Mahapuran, Bhagwat Katha. Bole Sri Krishna Chandra ki jai. Acha devotees. So as promised, lovely story, Sri Krishna born. What now? What now? So, you know my line. In the past, everybody read the Katha, enjoy it. You feel wonderful, you go home. Nothing is wrong with that. But if you are questioning in your mind, well, is there some sort of hidden message here? Is there a secret? Is there something I could do with this? And the answer is yes. And very briefly, I'll put it to you and mull it over on your own. See if you could put it into practice. So remember the Katha, remember the story, right? Kans. Who is Kans? The root of Kans is Ka, calm, desire, and Ka means action. Kans is the egotistical person. So Kans is not somebody somewhere else. Kans is inside of you. But together with Kans, Kans has a sister. And that sister is Devaki. Deva literally means that which shines. Right? Like a shining of good qualities. So Devaki, the Devta, Devaki would represent those good qualities that we have inside of us. What are the good qualities that we practice? Compassion, kindness, telling the truth, ahimsa, non-aggression. All of these things we know. I don't have to tell you that. Right? So Devaki is there, and Vasudev represents awareness. Vasu is like water, so this represents an awareness. So Vasudeva was married to Devaki. So look at the relationship now and try to map this to what is going on inside of you. We all have Kans. Kans is the ego, strong identification with the body. I need to go and get things in the world to make me happy, and I will do whatever it takes. That is Kans. Devaki, the sister, are these good qualities that we all have inside, that we try to practice, and when we are aware of them, it works well. But you know, sometimes Kans takes over. Not so? We have this battle going on in us. Sometimes we Kans like, sometimes we Devaki like. Not so? But what we try to do is to have Vasudeva married to Devaki. Vasudeva means that awareness or focus on the good qualities only. That's lesson number 1. Try not to focus on the Kans part of yourself, your ego and what you want, desires, but on Devaki, building these good qualities that you have. Point clear? So that is that little family there. Kans, Devaki, Vasudeva. Now, look at the story here, what happens. Devaki is married to Vasudeva, right? So, that is the lesson of putting your awareness on your good qualities inside. Now, when they were married, when you put your awareness on doing good things, you come into the temple, you're doing devotion for years, something is supposed to happen inside of you. If you come in temple for years now, and you're still the same way, you're still drinking the same way, behaving bad the same way, lying the same way, cheating the same way, being a bhundu the same way, or bhundi, I don't know the female of that. You're playing the fool the same way, then it shows that you're not doing the right thing. Vasudeva is not married to Devaki. Your awareness is not on goodness, on being good. You're still being like Kans. Understand? Kans and Devaki and Vasudeva can't stay together. Kans in one part, Devaki and Vasudeva on the other side. Right? So that's inside of you. You following me? Now, when Vasudeva is married to Devaki, when you pay attention to the good qualities inside, what happens? You give birth to children. Now, what does that mean? It means that certain qualities are born within you. So how many children did they have? Right. The first 6, what happened to them? Right. So let's tie it in now. When you start to be aware of your good qualities, what happens is the 6 forms of wealth are developed within you. Now you remember Auntie Vinja, for the puja for Lakshmi Mata, we put 6 coins. What do these 6 coins represent? 6 forms of wealth. Sham, Dam, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhan, and Shraddha. I'll translate it for you so it'll be clear. There are 6 qualities. Control of mind, control of senses. Uparati, the ability to withdraw. Titiksha, the ability to endure. Samadhan, inner firmness. And Shraddha, faith. These 6 are developed within you. So it's not just killing 6 babies, you understand? You have 6 babies and they are born. But because you are still spiritually immature, what does Kans do to them? Kill them. So what does that mean? Once you remain like this egotistical person and Kans is around, even though these things you try to generate them within you, you try to control the senses, you try to control your mind, you try to withdraw, Kans's ego roaring to be out in the world will come and kill all of them. Not so? Right. So now what? 6 children die. The 6 qualities gone. They can't be developed. So now we move on. You keep trying. You keep your awareness. Let's say you continue practicing. Then we have the 8th child. Sorry, not the 8th child. The 7th child. So what happened to the 7th child? The 7th child, the name is Balram. Bal means strength. Ram means that which shines within. Balram means inner strength. Another word for inner strength is willpower. Willpower. So after these first 6, you catch your tail, as we say, for them to develop, you keep practicing, you keep at it. You try to push Kans away, right? And try not to sacrifice the children to Kans, so to speak. Then this 6th one is sort of transferred away and hidden from Kans. This willpower, Balram. You start to develop the will to fight away this Kans inside of you. Following what's happening? So Balram is the 7th one. Inside of you, you start to develop willpower. And now, once Balram is there, and you start to develop this inner willpower, then the 8th child is ready to be born. Who is the 8th child? Krishna. Krishna. Now, he's ready to be born. But notice, he appeared inside there, but did he stay? Still can't stay. See, Krishna appeared there as a baby, but was moved out or hidden away across the Yamuna. Now, anybody knows what the meaning of the word Yamuna is? I'm talking about an internal process, right? Yamuna, as an internal process, Yamuna means twin. Twin. So you say, but Panitumesh, how is this supposed to make sense? The river mean twin? What's going on here? See, Krishna was taken across the Yamuna and hidden by Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. So devotees, this is a very subtle point. You may or may not get it, but I'll try. Within you, there are 2 selves at play. One self, if you sit right now, close your eyes, you feel like you're there, right? You feel like I'm a person. You feel like you're sitting here. You feel like you're listening to me, right? You feel like a person. You are there. I am here. Not so? That is your false self. Behind that self, the observer of that self, or what is reflected to make that not you self, is the true self, that Brahman that we talk about, the supreme self. I used the example last time, like a pot with water, you have the sun. The sun is like the real self, and when the sun shines, the reflection of the sun as water inside of a pot, that is the apparent self. That's an analogy that is used. But what our scriptures, sages tell us, and some experience will tell you, if you on this path, is that this sense of I that you have inside of you, this sense of being a person, is not true. Because when you go to sleep, and you're in deep sleep, are you aware of being there as a person? No. When you wake up, you're aware that you had a deep sleep, but you weren't aware of being there while you were in deep sleep. Not so? So, Vedanta devotees, it means that the true you is not this you that appears and comes all the time. When you wake up, it's there. When you go to sleep, it disappears. When you wake up, it's there. That is the false self. The true self is actually Krishna, hidden from you. And that is what it means by Krishna crossing the Yamuna and going into hiding, if you will. Big time philosophy, nice little story. You see? So, Krishna there is hidden devotees. And then in due course, what happened? What happened? You continue with Balaram, Krishna with Balaram, the willpower. Various demons had to be defeated. And eventually, devotees, at the end of the day, Krishna came back to the city and he destroyed Kans. Not so? So when Krishna destroys Kans, that leads you to what we call moksha, liberation. The supreme state where you realize what you truly are. Krishna there is apparent, not this little weak little false self that you have. Not Kans, this I in you running around, but the supreme self. Krishna, bliss. Understand? So this little story here, That song so fantastical, lovely to listen to, but it is a deep inner spiritual process. It is the essence of Vedanta, Tat Twamasi. But it's not just saying Tat Twamasi, it's the process, an internal process for doing so. Start from outside, move beyond the body, move beyond the mind. What lies beyond that, the watcher, the Sakshi, the witness, that is Krishna, always in hiding. This is a process of bringing that out. Bringing that out. And so, devotees, only when you go through that process and you come to that realization, then you're qualified to rock the pulna. You understand? At least you get an inkling of what I'm trying to say. So we could sing Jhule Jhule Pulana and rock the pulana, beautiful. But you know what? I could be rocking that pulana in me 24/7. If you follow this process and you have that deep awareness of who you are at all times, that is moksha, liberation. Beyond the mind, you get to Krishna, that wonderful self. Okay? Too much? Well, if you could take it, take it. If not, practice where you are. And trust me, devotees, whatever practice you have, God, you there, I am here, I can't understand none of this, not a problem. Continue to pray, devotees, and trust me, you're on the path, it will come to you. It will come to you. So wherever you are, we do lessons for various people who are at various levels. So wherever you are, you take it. Okay? But the essential point here, devotees, is that this katha, the Puranas in general, they have wonderful stories, but these stories, like the finger I mentioned, they point to something, they point to us. Do that, but this is not it. Experience that, know who you are, but follow the process. Okay? And so I hope that and pray that the blessings of Bhagwan Sri Krishna will be showered upon all of you on this auspicious occasion. Many blessings to you, devotees. And as we get ready to conclude, we make preparations for final Havan. We will join together in glorifying Prabhu Sri Krishna, 1 or 2 bhajan kirtan, to celebrate the occasion. After a baby is born, what you do? Nani? What's the procedure? The ladies have to handle this thing, they have various ceremonies. They have barahi, chatti and barahi, and, in essence, they offer prayers. Yes, some of them is wainong and thing, but that is not my concern. I'm interested on the spiritual side of things. You see, when somebody is born, you don't put dotations in the head from the first thing. You put the dotations after. But first, you offer prayer. You pray to Devi, right? You purify, you offer prayers to Devi, and then you show love and affection. You be there for that child. We could say a lot about children and parenting, maybe as we go along I will, from the Hindu perspective. But, there are a lot of things to consider here. What you do from while that child is in the womb is very, very important. Where you go, what you think, how you behave, all of that impacts the child. The vibrations propagate throughout. So good environments, keep it good, right? Keep it sober, especially when children are involved. So celebrations are done when children are born, and there are special compositions that we sing. We rock the baby. It's nice to play with a baby, right? We all like to play with little babies. Yuvan not here today. Yuvan is the standing baby until we get a next smaller baby to play with, right? So we all know how it is. So let's glorify Prabhu Sri Krishna for a few moments, and then we'll get into our final Havan, right? When our final Havan is finished, we'll have our final Arati, and during that time, you'll be able to come to the Pulna, offer flower, rock the Pulna, Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Okay? So just for a few moments, let's concentrate on Sri Krishna. Many of you may know the bhajan, Jai Bal Mukunda. Bal means child, Mukunda, the child Sri Krishna. Jai Bal Mukunda, Krishna Govinda, Yashomati ke lal ki. ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की यारती जय बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा
यशोमती के लाल की ये मुरली मनोहर
ये जग में ज्योति अंतकरण की प्रकाश कराने वाला,
ये प्रकाश कराने वाला,
परमात्मा बताने वाला,
परमात्मा बताने वाला।
ये श्याम सुंदर की वर गिरिधर की चहु ओर उजियार रही, ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना,
मधुसूदन की आरती, जय बाल मुकुंदा।
ये अमृत वाणी वेद बखानी संत रिझाने वाला,
ये संतर जाने वाला,
भव पार कराने वाला,
भव पार कराने वाला।
ब्रह्म ज्ञान यही स्वर्ग धाम यही, कुंजन मोहन छवि धाम की, ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना, मधुसूदन की आरती,
जय बाल मुकुंदा।
ये संपत्ति दाता अघ को मिटाता, पीर मिटाने वाला,
दुख पीर मिटाने वाला,
धन ध्यान बधाने वाला,
धन ध्यान बढ़ाने वाला।
कभी कृष्ण हृदय में, कभी कृष्ण हृदय में दीप जले, अनहर घंटा ध्वनि बाज रहे, ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना, मधुसूदन की आरती, जय बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा।
यशोमती के लाल जी, ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना, मधुसूदन की आरती,
जय बाल मुकुंदा, जय बाल मुकुंदा, जय बाल मुकुंदा। For a few moments, devotees, let's join together Krishna Kirtanam. Feel free to join in. Simple words. हो नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाला,
हो नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाला।
मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल,
मेरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाला,
हो मीरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल,
मेरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल।
नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाला,
हो नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाला।
वेर सार जीवन का धार,
वीर सार जीवन का धार,
हो वेर सार जीवन का धार,
वीर सार जीवन का धार।
मुरली मनोहर हृदय विहार,
गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार,
गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार,
गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार।
हो नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल,
ओ नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल,
ओ नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल,
नटवर लाल गिरिधर गोपाल।
ओ जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
ओ जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
नटवर नंद लाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला,
नटवर नंद लाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला,
नटवर नंद लाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला,
नटवर नंद लाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला।
ओ जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला,
जय जय प्रभु गिरिधारी नटवर नंद लाला।
हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला,
हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला, हे गिरिधर गोपाला।
कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, कृष्ण गिरिधर गोपाला, राधा गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला, माधव मुरहरि मधुर मनोहर गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
बोले श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। We join together in our final home and devotees. Offer a little bit each time around the fire. ओम श्री मन महागणाधिपति स्वाहा, ओम श्री गौरी माता स्वाहा, ओम श्री पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा, ओम श्री पंचलोकपाल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकाय नमः स्वाहा, ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विच्चे स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं श्रीं लक्ष्मीभ्यो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा, ओम क्रीं काल्यै नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री तारा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री त्रिपुर सुंदरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भुवनेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री त्रिपुर भैरवी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री छिन्नमस्ता देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री धूमावती देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री बगलामुखी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मातंगी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री कमला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री नवदुर्गा माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री स्वाहा माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्याभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री सीतारामचंद्रायभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री राधा कृष्णायभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री हुं हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री आदित्य देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंद्र देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री मंगल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री बुद्ध देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री बृहस्पति देवाय स्वाहा, Om Shri Shukradevaya Swaha. Om Shri Shani Devaya Swaha. Om Shri Rahave Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Ketave Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Agindevaya Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevaya Swaha. Om Shri Kuldevaya Swaha. Om Shri Asthandevaya Swaha. Om Shri Vastudevaya Swaha. Om Sarvadevata Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Anant Swarupaya Brahmane Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Guruve Bhyo Namaha Swaha. Offer up some more of that, just leave a little bit behind. Pick up the remainder of the cotton, the pan leaf and supari. Please all stand, devotees. We make our final offering. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayo Bhavaya Cha. Om Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya Cha Shivtaraya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagam Swaha. Pass water around 3 times. Om Sarva Papa Harang Divyam Gangyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamaya Dattam Grihitam Purushotamaha Achmanyam Samarpayami. Sri Agindevaya Namo Namaha. Pass your hand over the flame. Bow 3 times. Okay, devotees. So we will now join in our final arati. While Andivendra is performing her arati, we will do Palana Puja. So the Palana will remain right there. Okay. What you can do, you can take a flower. You can arrange to have some flowers. So there's no need to do any puja inside of the Palana. Right? We already did our puja here on the Bedi. So what you do, take a flower, offer it inside, say Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Appear obeisance, I want the protective shelter of Sri Krishna, and give the Palna a gentle rock and return to your place. So each person could do that, right? We could have some flowers available for everybody there, and you could just make a line and go around that way. While that is being done, for the duration of the arati, we will sing our Bhagavad arati together with some relevant Palna bhajans. Okay? Acha.
जय जय भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये
अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
हरि गान यही वरदान यही,
हरि गान यही वरदान यही,
जग के मंगल की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत श्रापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी।
ये मधुसूदन की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग फंद खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही।
प्रभु की महिमा की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती,
जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
गोपाल राधे कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
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 जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
जय हरे राधे कृष्ण
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
जय हरे राधे कृष्ण
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल। जय राधे कृष्ण
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
जय हरे राधे कृष्ण
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल।
गोपाल राधे कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद
गोपाल राधे कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल गोपाल
ओ झूले झूले पलना, ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
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 काहे के यह पलना बनी है, काहे के
यह पलना बनी है।
काहे के यह पलना बनी है, काहे के
यह पलना बनी है।
काहे के लागे फूलना, ओ काहे के लागे फूलना,
यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
चंद्र के यह पलना बनी है, चंद्र के
यह पलना बनी है।
चंद्र के यह पलना बनी है, चंद्र के
यह पलना बनी है।
रेशम के लागे फूलना, हो रेशम के लागे फूलना, झुलावे ललना। हो झूले झूले पलना,
यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
हो झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। जो मेरे ललना की पलना झूलावे, जो मेरी ललना
की पलना झूलावे।
जो मेरी ललना, जो मेरी ललना, जो मेरी ललना, जो मेरी ललना, जो मेरी ललना की पलना झूलावे, जो मेरी
ललना की पलना झूलावे।
तुम भी दोनों हाथी कंगना, ओ तुम भी दोनों हाथी कंगना,
यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। चंद्र सखी भजू बाल कृष्ण को,
चंद्र सखी भजू बाल कृष्ण को।
चंद्र सखी भजू बाल कृष्ण को,
चंद्र सखी भजू बाल कृष्ण को।
जुग जुग जिए तेरे ललना, ओ जुग जुग जिए तेरे ललना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। ओ झूले झूले पलना, यशोदा झूलावे ललना। झूलना झूलावे ब्रिज बाला, झूलना
झूलावे ब्रिज बाला।
झूलना झूलावे ब्रजबाला, झूलना झूलावे ब्रजबाला, झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला, ओ झूले नंद लाला
झूले गोपाल,
ओ झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
ओ रेशम की डोरी झूलावे यशोदा,
रेशम की डोरी झुलावे यशोदा,
रेशम की डोरी झूलावे यशोदा,
रेशम की डोरी झुलावे यशोदा,
आरती उतारे ब्रजबाला, आरती उतारे ब्रजबाला, ओ आरती उतारे ब्रजबाला,
आरती उतारे ब्रजबाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला, हो
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
ओ पलना झूलावे गीत सुनावे,
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे,
ओ पलना झूलावे गीत सुनावे,
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे,
ओ मंगल गावे ब्रजबाला, मंगल गावे ब्रजबाला, ओ मंगल गावे ब्रजबाला, मंगल गावे ब्रजबाला, झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला, झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला, ओ झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला, झूले नंद लाला
झूले गोपाला,
ओ झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
ओ झूले गोपाला झूले परम धामा,
झूले गोपाला झूले परम धामा,
ओ झूले परम धामा झूले सुख धामा,
झूले परम धामा झूले सुख धामा,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला,
ओ झूले गोपाला,
झूले गोपाला,
ओ झूले गोपाला,
झूले गोपाला,
झूले गोपाला,
झूले गोपाला,
झूले गोपाला.
झूले गोपाला.
Acha, we make preparations for closing prayer. And Divinja, take the mangering off. Lucistao, take flowers.
Shiva Hare, Shiva Hare, Vijayam Kuru me varam pratidinam, Kushalam Jai Mangalam pratidinam, Kushalam Jai Mangalam. Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudadhaja, Mangalam Garudadhaja, Mangalam Garudadhaja. Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardanam Yat pujitam maya deva. Om Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव. बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय. आर शक्ति दुर्गा माता.